Today's biology class for class 9th, the chapter number 1, the fundamental unit of life, that is cell. We will discuss about this chapter one by one topic in one classes. So this is the first class for biology. So let us start. First we will talk about the different topic that are present in this chapter. After that, one by one we'll go through with the topics, right? After that, though, so you can see, as you can see, that the first is study of historical preservative perceptive related to cell discovery, how the cell is being discovered, what are the historical aspects are there, what are the scientists that are involved, which are the scientists that are involved in this. Then study of microscope, how we will study how what is the role of microscope in the the study about the cell. After this, study of hypertonic, isotonic, hypertonic solutions, what are these, for what is osmosis, then cell wall, what is cell wall, nucleus, about this with the diagram, cytoplasm, then all the cell organelles, what are their functions, and we will end up with this chapter. So it's a vast chapter. One by one we will discuss about it. About cell, you must have studied in your junior class or in your previous class also, that cell is the basics structural unit of life, as all the living organisms are made up of fundamental unit of life called the cell. So it's all, whether you, whether we human beings, whether animals, whether plant, with so small insects, all the living beings present on the earth that are having life, they all are having the cells, right? So after that we will come to the next, the cell. What is cell? As for example, we would look about the example from the building, that basic structure unit for a building is a brick. The same way, cell is the basic unit, fundamental unit of life. With the cells, when they combine, cell forms the tissues, tissue forms the organ, all the organ combines, then they form the organ system. After that organ system, a whole body of a living organism forms. So after that we come to the second point, what it says. The cell is a Latin word. What is cell? Cell is a Latin word, that Latin word for a little room. Its meaning is little room. The scientist Robert Hooke saw a little room in the cork. Cork is what? You must have studied about the cork. So what is it? Bark of a tree. वो जो ट्री होता है, ट्री के ऊपर जो bark, just like this the cover of a pen is there, bark is the tree, brown color, dark brown color. He has seen these cells in that only, and he resembles the structure of a honeycomb. As you can see a structure that here it is drawn, like this structure he has seen, like a honeycomb, जैसे मधुमक्खी का छत्ता होता है वैसे, right? The use of the word cells to describe these unit is used till this day in biology the as cell biology, और आज तक cell biology के रूप में हम cell को पढ़ते आए हैं. Next, the microscope. And in microscope, if it is not being discovered, you are not able to see the cells. Microscope बहुत ज़्यादा important है स्टडी में सेल के लिए. द कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप कंसिस्ट आईपीस, ऑब्जेक्टिव, लेंस एंड कंडेंसर्स टू ऑब्जर्व अ सेल आफ्टर पुटिंग अ ड्रॉप ऑफ saffron on plant cells and methylene blue for animal. This is the next thing that you have to do it in your practicals. But what is microscope? Compound microscope, where we can see the small things, small tiny particles that you couldn't see from your naked eyes, जो अपनी आँखों से हम जिसके स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में हम नहीं देख सकते हैं, that you can see in the under the microscope. जिसमें कि एक आई पीस होता है, ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, लेंस जो मेन काम करती हैं, जो स्मॉल ऑब्जेक्ट को एनलार्ज करके हमको दिखाती हैं. सो दिस the compound micro. So after that, एक साइंटिस्ट है, द नेम ऑफ द साइंटिस्ट इज लीवेनहॉक. लीवेनहॉक ने क्या किया, ही सॉ फ्री लिविंग सेल्स इन द पॉन्ड में के अंदर उन्होंने फ्री लिविंग सेल्स देखे वाटर फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, पहली बार, और इन्हीं को कहा गया है ही इज़ द फादर ऑफ माइक्रोबायोलॉजी. नेक्स्ट जो साइंटिस्ट हैं, साइंटिस्ट रॉबर्ट ब्राउन, ही हैज़ डिस्कवर्ड द न्यूक्लियस. सेल के अंदर एक न्यूक्लियस होता है, वो इन्होंने डिस्कवर किया था. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दीज नेम्स ऑफ द साइंटिस्ट, लीवेनहॉक, what he has discovered, Robert Brown, what he has discovered, like this. Now after this, the next comes here about the cell theory. So what is cell theory? सेल के बारे में एक थ्योरी भी दी गई है, वो थ्योरी दी थी स्क्लेडन एंड स्वान ने. एंड what is the theory? The cell theory states that all the plants and animals are composed of cells. It was proposed by Scladden and Swan. जो सेल थ्योरी है स्क्लेडन और स्वान ने दी थी, और क्या बोला था, द सेल थ्योरी स्टेट्स दैट ऑल द प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स आर कंपोज्ड ऑफ सेल्स. जितने भी प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स हैं सब में सेल्स प्रेजेंट हैं. द सेल थ्योरी वॉज फर्दर एक्सपैंडेड बाय विर्चो, और उसके बारे में और बताया विर्चो ने, by suggesting that all cells arises from the pre-existing cells. जितने भी cells हैं उन्हें उसके बारे में और बताया, सेल थ्योरी के बारे में उसमें और पॉइंट ऐड किए. What he said that all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. जितने भी cells हैं वो अपने पहले के cells से ही arise हुए हैं. The cells differ in size, shape and structure. और next, after this theory, next point about the cell comes here that cells differ करता है अपने साइज़ में. हर एक cells अपने साइज़ से, अपने शेप से, अपने स्ट्रक्चर से एक दूसरे से डिफर करता है. There are many types of cells that are different. Onion cell, smooth muscle cells, bone cells, blood cells, nerve cells, ovum, sperm cells. These all are having different structures, they all differ from their functions, differ in their size, their shape, all are different. Here, all animals that all the plants that we see around us, that are present, that you are not able to see from your naked eyes, they can be distributed as unicellular. What? Unicellular and multicellular. But what is multicellular and unicellular? Uni means one and multi means many. So cellular means cell. So the organisms that are having only one cell in their body structure, they are unicellular organisms, and the animals are having many cells, they are the multicellular organisms. For example, the human beings, the trees, they are multicellular. Unicellular like amoeba, paramecium. Here we comes, a single cell may constitute a whole organism. जहाँ पे जिन ऑर्गेनिज्म में सिर्फ एक सिंगल सेल होता है वो पूरी बॉडी का स्ट्रक्चर फंक्शन करते, दे आर नोन एज द यूनिसेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म. फॉर एग्जांपल, अमीबा इज देयर, पैरामीशियम इज देयर, क्लामाइडीमोनास इज देयर. The bacteria, these are called the unicellular organisms, whereas in multicellular organisms like human beings, division of labor is seen. Labor means the work is divided, right? Work is divided by different organs, different organ system, different functions are there. Next, the feature in almost every cell is same: plasma membrane, nucleus and the cytoplasm. All the cell consist of what? Three main structures. The plasma membrane is there, a nucleus is always there in cells, mostly all cells, cytoplasm is also there. So with this we'll end up today's topic, in which you have to do some questions, and the questions are: question number 1, these are the assignment. The question number say, who discovered cell? What is cell theory? And who has given it? So they are the questions. Who discovered cell? What is the cell theory? And who has given it? Another question is that I am dictating. Who discovered nucleus? These three questions you have to do as your homework, and we will continue with the plasma membrane in our next class.